Welcome to another week of Shut Up and Poetry. We're your hosts. I'm SC Says. This is Salicon in a sweater. That's right. It's a little bit over 60 degrees in Texas, so we bust out all the stops.
Yeah, I had mittens on earlier, but they took them off.
We're here to bring you all the latest and greatest in the world of slam poetry, and this week we have an amazing feature. Who is our feature this week?
Oh my gosh. So we had the honor of sharing a stage with FreeQuency at Texas Grand Slam.
So good.
She took 5th place, and she's
Over
from...
the whole thing.
Yeah, she's kind of a big deal.
It's huge.
She's from New Orleans, so without further ado, please enjoy FreeQuency.
Yeah.
Lessons on being an African immigrant in America. 1. Lose your accent. People will make fun of the African girl, but nobody fucks with the black girls. Even when young, we can be so angry. 2. Don't stare at white people. They are not animals in the zoo. 3. When they stare at you like an animal in the zoo, do not be confused. Do not bare teeth when they reach out to pet you, to touch your hair without permission. You are, after all, so exotic, so foreign, so other. Some would even call you inhuman. They will call you alien. They will ask you who called your spaceship to crash land your brain-drained dreams onto these eastern shores. These eastern shores have already landed ships from your world when we invaded it. But this is the 21st century, and we don't need chains to make slaves of people anymore. 4. With a name like Mwende, Kalandu, Katwiwa, the jokes will come. Do not envy your brother David or blame your mother Lucy. The way their names roll smooth off foreign tongues is proof that colonization and assimilation go hand in hand. You are your grandmother's legacy. 5. When black people tell you, you aren't really black, remind them how Amadou Diallo's dead body looked no different than any other black man's in this gradual genocide. And I know you may not call it that in this country, but believe me when I say we know what genocide looks like. We know what it sounds like. It's white lies telling families that they are enemies. We are identical twins separated at birth, now strangers. The hardest thing we will ever learn is how to replant a family tree whose fruits were exploited and whose branches bore nooses. 6. If people ask you if you're upset because you're on your period, the week Al-Shabaab attacks a mall in your home country, do not marvel at those who think blood only comes out of holes that the body has formed naturally. 7. When nearly 300 of your West Coast kin go missing and Americans claim them as our girls, refrain from asking questions like, why did it take a month and a hashtag for them to claim family when it was in the news? Or why weren't the 50 schoolboys attacked by Boko Haram claimed as our boys too? Instead, ask that they do not Coney 2012 these 234s to the backs of their browsers, that they not be the kind of family who only shows up to $12 weddings and funerals. 8. If you realize you are powerless to stop your metamorphosis from the African girl to the American girl, every time you break free from Western cocoon and fly back to your roots, resist the urge to remain pupa in the silk of stolen comforts. Confront the turbulence that will shake your flight with the truth that you are no longer sure which place is foreign and which is home to you.
I am so grateful for this poem, for her doing this poem, because I think it brings up a topic that not a lot of people are talking about in the conversation of race, which is huge right now. And that's assimilation. That's what this whole poem is about.
Right.
Is like her basically stripping herself of her culture so she can affect somebody else's culture. I mean, from that first line, step 1, lose your accent. Like, change your name. Like, and even then, it still probably won't matter.
It's just, yeah, it's absolutely crazy because all of those things, your accent, your skin color, like, I look at FreeQuency and I think drop dead gorgeous, like, unbelievable, like, just too beautiful for me. And so it's like all the things that I love about these people who are different from me is bad. So it just really brought me back to like elementary school and just thinking about how we all are trying to fit in that culture and how that's kind of a model for like our society. And I just think we need to do a better job as people to teach our kids and each other how to accept and love and embrace people who are different from us, people from different cultures, you know, because I love the differences.
It's what makes us unique. And that's a good point, too, because that actually, and like she says in the poem, that happens within the Black community. Like, not only do we discriminate against, like, individual races, but, like, Black people would discriminate against lighter skin-toned Black people because they're not really Black. Like, that legitimately happens. Like, that definitely happened to me as a kid growing up. Like, just the way I talked or the way I dressed wasn't, like, Black enough. You know, and she's
Try
like,
harder.
She's from Africa. I don't know.
Sorry.
I think she's an OG.
You're too Black.
Yeah. So I mean,
not our kind
these are the kind of things that we need to hear as a culture, so that these conversations happen, so that we can start like noticing when people's cultures are being taken from them by this like forced assimilation. So like I'm so grateful for this poem because it brings up that topic in such a beautiful way. So let us know what you thought of Frequency's poem. She has a lot of ways to get like to follow her too.
She's got a website, she's got a Tumblr, she's got a Twitter.
Yeah, so we'll have like all our information
all over the place
below. But let us know what you thought of her poem, and then please don't forget to subscribe to Shut Up and Poetry. Poets, don't forget to send us your poetry so you can be featured on the channel, shutupandpoetry@gmail.com. That'll do it for this week. Stay warm, people, because it's a little nippy out there. It's like what, 61 degrees?
Yeah, 59.
Oh my gosh! So bundle up.
Ugg boots.
Boots. Bye.
Shut up.
In poetry.